Good morning, everybody. How are you? I'm Dana from dapoppins.com. Yeah, Dana, otherwise known as dapoppins. Why dapoppins? Because I am a career nanny and caregiver, and in the 1980-somethings, when I typed into AOL to get my email, they had a name generator, and somebody had already taken Mary Poppins. So I ended up being Dana Poppins. So I'm DePoppins, and I'll always be DePoppins, and I'm the only one. Okay, it is super early here, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching this. Thank you for taking the time to watch this, and you're like wondering, what the heck, what is this? So if you looked at the title, if you found me from Junk Journal Junkies or for the search, I have had this burning need to create a steampunk journal for ages, and I wanted to do a Jane Austen. Jane. We all love Jane. Who doesn't love Jane? Jane Austen steampunk mashup. If you have seen Bohemian Crafting's channel, she has these incredible steampunk and flip book, and just her books have flaps and flips, and they're so amazing. And she takes old purses and she creates these incredible things. And I've been watching her for years now. Years! And, well, at least 2 or 3. And so inspired. And then somewhere, I don't know where, I saw this Jane Austen zombie journal. If that's you, give me a wave. I actually searched to find you, and I could not find the book. And I thought it was a kind of a neat mashup, and so I've been wanting to do my own, and I started big. I started big because I thought I want lots and lots of room to create. These are 12 by 12 papers, and it was too big. I like what I made so far. Pardon the glare, it's early morning and I'm not using natural light. I like what I had made so far, but it was too huge. And not only that, where did my Jane picture go? I dropped it. Not only was it too huge, but I made a lot of mistakes. This was supposed to have tucks in it, but the tucks ended up being really small because the gears are all popped up. And yeah, so I made a ton of mistakes, and I didn't know. I'm going to have to use those gears somewhere. They actually move. I wanted them to move, which is why they had to pop up. And I don't know how I'm going to bind it. I thought maybe I'd bind that there, but I don't know. I just, the book was becoming overwhelming. I didn't know. I still haven't quite figured out how I'm going to bind it. If you have any good ideas, send me a, I need some help, because this open, look, isn't that cool? Yeah. So I have to use it. And then this opens, I guess I'd bind it. I don't know. This opens here, and there's all that other stuff. So enough of that. So big was too big, and I couldn't do it, and so I decided to go down smaller. This is the book I ended up with. A very rustic, messy. We are not going to talk about how many things I did wrong. Please, again, pardon the light, but it is what it is, right? We're not going to talk about all the mistakes. We're not going to talk about the horrible stitching, or glue, that there's glue where there shouldn't. We're not talking about that. So there's a pocket on the back for extra things. I thought maybe I would make a flight plan book and put it there. I haven't gotten that far. So this book is filled with inked up, distressed, I don't know what to say, distressed and exhausted pages. Everything is inked. If we find something that's not inked, I need to ink it. Everything is aged and distressed. So here you go. We got this dangling down. Can you see? And a tag that's dangling down with vintage buttons on it. There's actually not a ton of vintage ephemera in here because, you know, Jane lived a long time ago, and I wanted stuff to be kind of consistent, and where I was not consistent, I developed, I have an excuse. So I'm trying really hard to stay in frame. This is the 3rd time I've done this video because I keep making mistakes. So you open it. So, inspired by those flip books and stuff that are out there, the school age ones, this is my original base is file folders. You'll see some file folders in between it. I just stress the heck out of it. So, here's this page here. There's these little things right there. So that comes out. I'm going to have a pile of pages by the time we're done. I have done more stamping in this book than any other book I've ever worked with. I'm just a stamp-a-crazy lady. Somebody just left the house. I'm not sure who it was. One of my kids probably. I have teenagers. I've done stamping, and then I had these really old 7 Gypsy rub-ons and some Tim Holtz rub-ons, so of course I use those. That's a little ticket there, I think, that comes out. There. Flips over. There is a little lace in this. There's not a lot. Jane might have used more laces. So my idea really was to create a book that Jane Austen would have used in a steampunk era. I wanted not necessarily a book for me to draw. This is a watch. Vintage. Can you see shadows? Okay. Just yell at me. Go ahead and yell at me if you can't see something and you wanted to see it. So my idea was to create a book that maybe Jane Austen kept her notes in. Maybe her creative ideas, letters to family, bits of paper that she collected on her travels, ideas for her next books. Tea recipes, which I didn't put in here, but I think I should. I think there should be her favorite tea recipe should be in here. It wasn't a book for me to write in. I wanted to create her story, and that turned out to be, much more of a magnum opus I'd still be working on the book. And like I said, this is my third attempt at video. It is, I can't tell you how many times I've thought I'm done, and then I found 5 more things that I can distress or alter or change or whatever. So I just decided I'm going to share this. Oh, I didn't pull these out. Darn it. What's wrong with me? I'm going to share it now, or else I'm going to be working on it forever, and you guys are never going to get to see anything. So we did that. I used, like I said, file folders. And this actually here, I'm very proud of this. My uncle built a Model T, and this is a book, a Model T Enthusiast, pages from the Model T Enthusiast book. Little tiny details of a plan. I used washi. I stamped, oh look, teeny tiny tags. Very proud of those teeny tiny tags. Everybody should have teeny tiny tags, right? Okay, so this is an example of my idea. It's going to be upside down back here. So Jane was writing a letter to Cassandra, and this part of the letter is actual Jane Austen. I copied the text from a Jane Austen. But down here is my fanciful edition. I shall read it to you. As you can see, the writing is very small, so if I stumble a bit, please forgive me. I do have my glasses on, but that may not necessarily help. Frank writes in good spirits, but says that our correspondence cannot be so easily carried in the future as it has been. Things have been difficult, both by land and by air, despite the new alternator updates. I'm not sure what I wrote right there. Can you read it? I don't know. There are enemies all around. I have thus sent him a new pair of goggles for the viewing of these enemies. One can never do without a fashionable set of the new Doc Oculus electromagnetic viewing apparatus. My hope is that even with all of the troubles that this new set, purchased at the price of Miss F's prize roses, this new set of goggles should still reach our dear Frank. Something like that. So I took her writing, obviously, and then I add some steampunk-esque stuff to the bottom. Now, if you're wondering about my pictures and stuff, most of these are from sets you probably have seen before. I can't remember all, but they're not anything new. So most of the papers are, you know, nothing super fancy. So the middle of the book here, this is actually probably reinforced watercolor paper, and that's just stained. That's all Tim Holtz right there to that brown color. And then I have these buckles over here. I'm hoping that this stays in focus, because as I'm looking at it, it's all focused. It's staying beautifully focused. And on the replay, I am telling you right now that this better stay focused, because I am not doing this again. So my idea for this here was a chatelaine or an equipage, which was those fobs and watches and keys and things that ladies would wear in their belts. So yeah, that would be what this would be. This would be Jane's extra or old equipage, chatelaine, whatever you want to call it. And if I had a pair, it'd be so neat if I had a tiny screwdriver and a pair of scissors. So I'm on the lookout for those. So that can come out completely, and then you have these. Maybe you're wondering at what point I'm going to show you an actual junk journal. It's coming. It's coming. I have gotten such incredibly fantastic feedback from the Junk Journal Junkies. I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much. I have gotten some happy mail too, anonymous. I'm just so blessed. You know, we complain about the negativity on Facebook, but there is love there for all if you are careful about what groups you are. So this right here is very special. This book must have this particular paper. I just thought that it was, this little piece was so important because it's the plans to H.G. Wells's time machine. I think for Jane to live in a steampunk era, having that time machine so that she could bounce around even over 100 years in the past and in the future is essential. It also makes some of the ephemera in here make more sense. Okay, so I'm going to save this side. We're going back. Oops, I skipped a pocket. This is a copy of notes from Emma, I believe. I'm not going to take them out. It's just both sides. There's some paper. A tag. I have more of these somewhere. Okay. Now we come back to this. This right here. This is the actual journal. It is, it's the, what is it? 8, 10, 20, I'll count the pages. I'm not sure. It's not that many pages because things were getting thick. It's tied in by a ribbon. I was going to put elastic, but the elastic I got was too big, and I didn't like how it looked. I'm not sure the ribbon is effective, but it works for now. Also, because I'm not sure how it's going to work, the ties, I could take them out at any time. They, I might keep them. They give me, pardon my shadows, they give me some flexibility that I wouldn't otherwise have. Okay, so I'm going to move this off to the side. Am I getting more shadows? I'm just creating shadows. Oh, Lordy, help me. Help me, Lord. I don't want to have to redo this video because I put too many shadows in here. Okay, I'm going to take a drink of coffee. I need to be fortified, people. Oh, that's good. I know this video is going to be pretty long. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. So this is shiny because there's a transparency behind there. It's a transparency over steampunk paper from Stampin' Ink, I think, with a digital download kit decoupaged on top. And that way I could morph Jane to something more steampunky. This is a velvet ribbon tie. The lace is vintage. I couldn't tell you how old it is. It's at least 50 years or older. So here we go. Let's go inside. I think there are also graphic 45 papers in here and Marion Smith of extra pages from kits that I'm still hoarding. These are rub-ons, I think. I'm very proud of this. If I need some more of these hearts because they make the best, and excuse my ugly band-aid, they make the best clips. Little envelope. What's inside? Lots and lots and lots of little tags and pieces because Jane was a paper collector too. I just have to tell you that. I'm sure she had loads of papers, right? It makes me feel good to say so, so everybody just agree. This is kind of ugly right here, but when you turn it over, it's a transparency with a balloon in it, and I like that. So I don't know what the alternative is. Here's a little canvas tag with Shakespeare because, you know, Jane would have read some Shakespeare. One of her books. She time traveled into the 20s to get that, I'm sure. Oh, and just in case, this is also a tuck if I wanted it. We could cover up the dude. This is a clip that I made. This is steampunk paper from Dreams, etc. But this right here, I think this is from, oh, I can't remember the name of the kit, but it's a Jane Austen digital kit. And the colors were just perfect. I double-sided when I printed. Come on, open. Open, open. Lots of downloads. I have enough downloads that I could make another Jane Austen steampunk kit. You know, when you make one, you're like, oh, now I know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to make another one. Unfortunately, I have like 5 other projects on board that I need to work on. I think this is Bo Bunny. If you're wondering, I could lay the book down, but then I feel like I'd be out of frame and you wouldn't be able to see me. What do you think? You know, nothing too special, but kind of cool. Again, steampunk paper with Jane paper glued over the top. And I just want you to know, as we do this, there's still more I haven't shown you. You're like, what? No, really. We haven't looked at the other half of the book. Steampunk tags. I think this flips open all the way. Haha, it does. Did I take what's out of that pocket? I like this page. I'm very inspired by the junk journals I see. Almost every idea in here is not original to me. I saw it somewhere else. And you guys are just so clever and talented. And there you go. That's the end of that mini book. Okay, so that goes back in the journal, but I'm not going to put it back in the journal because there's still more to see. What did I feel like something dropped. Okay. Did I ask how you guys were doing today? How's your family? How are your loved ones? Is everyone okay? You know, one reason I love this community is because although we all have different opinions about the world environment and everything that's happening, we are sharing our art and encouraging each other, and I can't tell you how much that blesses me. So here we are, we're opening this. Don't forget, now we need to open the buckles. What's behind door number 3? So I had not really intended to make it huge. But when I started big with the other one, I'm not a very good planner crafter. I tend to see things, I make my elements, and then I'm like, oh, this would be good, this would be good, this would be good. Oh, and I get 50 different ideas, and then I end up with piles of ephemera and stuff, and I get overwhelmed. So as I was making the book, I really wanted something with all these pockets and flaps and everything, right? So, but I didn't necessarily want anything flat. It's got a 2-inch, it's 2 inches. It's supposed to be 2 inches wide. It's a little bit bigger because it's just grown bigger, but so that flap flips up. This pulls. There you go. Did you see how that works? La 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 la. And then I can pull it. No, I can't, but you know. Okay, so that closes. I'm going to push the book way over there. I do not have a great filming space. You know, I'm a home crafter. And I make do with what I have. I was looking at those boom, whatever they're called, you know, creating a tripod that would hang over so that I could sit down. Because right now I'm standing, but the prices on those things, and even the homemade ones, I don't know. I'd rather spend it on paper things. So look, I opened it up. Then you have this. This is the middle, the back of the book. It's magnetized, and sometimes it works. There's a floating pocket down here. Jane was a collector of ideas, kind of like us, right? If someone wanted this book to, oh, I skipped over a page in the other book. Look, I wanted to show you. I did do some journaling. Where's that page? It's at the beginning. It's right here. Here's my journaling. This is from Mansfield Park, I believe. I'm afraid you are growing quite the fine lady. Your head runs too much upon Bath, but there is time for everything. A time for balls and plays, a time for work, and now you must try to be useful. It is time to oil the clockwork butler. You know how hard the rain is on his works, and I do need the poor thing so. It's very important that I share this with you. I can't believe I skipped over that. Okay, back to this. So my idea here, and this one is, it's not quite finished, would to be make a mini scrapbook, and it would say Mother's Family. Jane had so many amazing characters, Jane Austen's, almost caricatures. And I was wondering, you know, did she just see people and emphasize their points, their, you know, the loud points, the bombastic points, the cousin in whose name I can't remember, but no, like my, you know, whatever, from Pride and Prejudice, who practiced his compliments. Did she know people like that? So I thought that this would be just a scrapbook of family members, but and things that she had, other things she had pasted down, but I haven't quite, it was getting thick, and I haven't quite finished it. And I thought I should share what I had. So that was the idea for this. It would also could be a, you know, a glue book. I think, does this one, no, that one doesn't have a, this one you could put something under though. Flag. This would flip up. I quite like that one. It's very aged. This was actually white. It's aged because I used that Tim Holtz, the tinted decoupage, not decoupage, the tinted medium. I'm not sure. This one too. These are transparencies. That's a vellum. It went on pretty good. I was impressed. So that would go there. Are you feeling like we should be done? I'm sorry, we're not done yet. You thought we were going to be done with this, but no, we're almost done. So this is the last part of the book, very much inspired by Eva. It's a trifold. It's going to fold out way out here. I cannot tell you how long this book is. It may be all pulled out. It's 3 feet long. I don't know, 2 feet long. So I'm just going to show you this part. All of that, all those flaps, just to show you a blank page. I'm pretty sure that's Tsunami Rose. I had such a hard time setting. I don't have the right size setter. And there was wailing and gnashing of teeth, let me tell you. This is an Etsy download. I couldn't tell you where, but I love that the ladies were in the steampunk. Okay, I think my camera shut off because I'm running out of battery, or it was getting too long. I'm going to have to slice that together anyways. I'm almost done! Okay. Then we go here. This one is an envelope. Are you guys laughing at me? You know my pain, right? Do not fall in my coffee, although that would look, you know, coffee staining. And then that pulls out there. These come out. You saw that. You saw this last envelope. You saw that. There's more paper in there. I did some embossing. In fact, there was other embossing in here somewhere. I probably just flipped through it really quickly. I didn't pull this out. There's this. These. Okay, that's it. Oh my goodness. People, thank you for watching. I'm going to edit. Hopefully this video is going to work. If not, I don't know what to tell you. 3 times the charm, right? Be blessed. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And like and share and comment and blah, 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 blah. I love you guys. Bye.